Let's talk about love. Let's talk about love, baby. Let's talk about, no, anyway, never mind. Scratch that. Hello, starlets. I'm Sarah from Everyday Starlet. Welcome to my channel. I'm here to inspire you to be the best version of yourself and live your dreams. So if you want to be an Everyday Starlet, be sure you hit that subscribe button. Today I have another chatty video with you. This is basically my way of like having a podcast without having a podcast. So I feel like when I talk about stuff, people need to see me, and not in like a look at me kind of way, but I don't know. I just feel like some of my expressions and nuances and stuff like that just need to come across on camera. I don't know why I'm doing this with my hands. So basically this video was inspired by a post that Stephanie Buttermore made, and she made this post, and then she also has mentioned it a few times in her videos, and I know this isn't like a main topic of her videos and her journey, but I just felt like it needed some emphasis, and I really wanted to talk about it. And so I felt like I wanted to talk about it on camera because it just felt like I had more to say than just what would fit in a written Instagram post or something. So yeah, so that's basically what this video is about. I just want to, so a little bit of backstory on kind of what inspired me for this post. If you're not familiar with Stephanie Buttermore, she is a YouTuber, Instagrammer, social media influencer. She's in the fitness world. She actually went on this, what she calls an all-in journey. And I won't get into it too much because she does an amazing job of breaking down exactly what she did and exactly why she did it. She has a science background. She's an incredibly, incredibly smart woman. So she basically went on this journey to essentially heal her extreme hunger and reset her metabolism and stuff like that. And in the process of doing this journey that she documented, I would say very fearlessly on social media, she did put on a lot of weight, and then she ended up settling into a set weight and stuff, and so her body went through a lot of changes, and she documented the whole thing, which was it was beautiful, it was very vulnerable, and I have so much admiration for her for doing that. And I actually myself went on a my own sort of version of this. It wasn't exactly like an all-in thing, it wasn't exactly like Stephanie's, but I went on sort of my own little journey that I haven't really been documenting as much because I just, a lot of reasons why I haven't been, but and that's not really what this video is specifically about, but I do want to note that my body has gone through some changes recently, you know, and a lot of it having to do with resetting my metabolism from extreme restrictions and over cardio and things like that. And I have found, even though my situation and my story, my journey is very different than Stephanie's, I have found watching Stephanie's videos to be very inspiring, very motivating, and has also helped answer some questions and concerns and things that like I had going through my journey. So even though I've never met Stephanie, I don't know her, I've never actually spoken to her, I have done one of her women's fitness programs, but I don't know her. So but you know, we all kind of feel like we know each other on social media, don't we? You know what I mean? Like, it's sort of like, that's why we love these influencers, is because we kind of feel, even though we don't know them, we feel like we know them, even though we don't really know them. You get what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying. Now, another aspect of this is that Stephanie has been in a long-term relationship with her boyfriend, Jeff Nippard, who's also a very popular fitness influencer, YouTuber. He's also very smart, very scientific background. I've also done one of his programs as well when I was doing more lifting, which I highly recommend. And I don't know him personally or anything, but he has great videos, very informative, fitness competitor and everything. So, and they're very frequently on each other's channels. So I want to state that again, I don't know them, and all I know about their relationship is what they present to us publicly. And you know, you can never know anybody's relationship completely unless you're in it, you know what I mean, or unless you know them personally or anything. So I just want to say I'm basing all of this video and this conversation just based on what they've said and what they put forth publicly. One of the questions that Stephanie gets asked a lot in her videos on this journey, I've noticed, at least it seems to always come up in every Q&A thing that she does, so I don't know if she may get a lot more questions more often, but I've noticed this question a lot, is a lot of how Jeff has reacted to her journey and his feelings about it, and you know, different aspects of like him and how he's reacting to her body changing. I'm not gonna lie, even though I never actually asked that question in a Q&A, when I first started watching her journey and first started learning about what she was doing and everything, that question did come into my mind. I'm not proud of it because it bothers me that that's something that we think about, which I'll get into in a bit, but I have to admit I did. And then when that question started coming up more when she was doing Q&As, like when she was sort of on the tail end of her journey, I was glad that people asked that, because I was curious, and that's generally, I guess, what inspired this. And she had a post on her Instagram stories that I actually screenshotted because I felt like it was so important that I just had to save it. She says, "People ask me if I ever get scared that Jeff will stop loving me because I've gained weight. I never fear that. If a man stops loving you because you've gained weight, he never really loved you at all." And I screenshotted that because it just was such a powerful message. And I feel like she's always said that throughout the whole process. Every Q&A that she's done with Jeff, he seems so supportive and like genuinely was encouraging her and supporting her through this whole process. I know that that's not the main focus of her videos. Her main focus of her videos is on her and her journey, as it should be, 100%. And I really do hate the fact that that's a question that people, not that they would ask, but that we have a society where that's a question that people think of so much. I mean, I thought of it, you know, so I'm not innocent in the whole thing. But the fact that that's such a thing that people are so quick to think she put on weight or she changed her appearance, is he still gonna love her? And I don't just mean them, but like I mean people in general. And I guess that's the point of what I'm getting at with this video, is this sort of almost like acceptable idea in society that if a woman's body, and I know it can go either way, I know it could be in reverse with men changing and stuff, I just think it's a lot more common with women, and it's a lot more acceptable to assume that if a woman's body changes, if a man stops loving her, that that's just acceptable, like that's just, you know, that it's like a man only loving a woman for how she is in her physical appearance is almost so acceptable, that if a woman changes and a man's like, well, I'm out, or I stop loving you, it's almost not shocking anymore. And I think that's really sad. And I know that every time that Stephanie mentions this, or the question comes up and she mentions this, I do notice a lot of times there'll be comments in the comment section about, you know, Jeff wins boyfriend of the year, Jeff's the greatest boyfriend ever, and I'm on board with that, you know what I mean? Like, I think, like, I'm not the type who's like, we should praise someone for something that they should do anyway, because I think, you know what, there are not a lot of, I think there should be more good people, and I think good people and good behavior and good men in particular and stuff should be praised. Like, they should get credit. Like, people should get credit for being good people. You know, I think we get a little bit caught up in the society of like, if you praise someone for doing something well, it's like, well, that's what they should have done anyway. It's like, yeah, but still praise them for doing something well. You know what I mean? So like, I'm not saying that people shouldn't. I just feel like it also is a sign that it's not as common in our society for men to be supportive of that, particularly of women's bodies going through you know, natural, healthy changes. And I guess I just really wanted to sit down and talk about this because I do really feel like we need to normalize the idea of women being loved for more than just their bodies. I mean, women are beautiful. Women are beautiful, and let's be honest and let's be real. Stephanie, at every phase in her journey, was gorgeous. I mean, she is gorgeous. She was always gorgeous. While she was, you know, at her heaviest weight and crying on camera, she was beautiful. Like, I mean, there's no denying that. But I hear about it a lot. I'm in a lot of of groups, like women's support groups and things, where you hear a lot of stories of women, and granted it's the woman's perspective, but you know, a woman, you know, had a health problem and ended up gaining weight that she couldn't control, or you know, a woman had a baby and her body changed, or you know, illnesses or things. People's bodies change, and their husbands leave, just up and leave. And I'm sure that, again, there's always two sides to a story. And I do understand the argument that a lot of men use, that there are women who bait and switch. But then you also want to ask yourself, like, if a woman can bait and switch you, were you really paying attention to who she really was? Like, were you really focused on who she was as a person? Because I feel like a woman faking, like, if a woman is faking any aspect of herself, there's got to be something in you that's saying, like, I mean, I've had guys fake out, like, you know, lie about something. And to be honest, in hindsight, and they were all learning experiences, but in hindsight, I look back and I'm like, yep, should have seen that sign. And it's a learning experience. Like, we all learn about stuff like that. But at a certain point, there has to be a, you know, some kind of sign. I guess that the gist of this video, and I guess this is the summary that I really want women to take away from this, is to not settle for someone who doesn't love you for who you actually are. And hey, look, I mean, obviously physical attraction is important. It's just, if that's all that's there, there's something wrong there. You know, there's something missing. And I just want to emphasize to women to not settle for someone who only loves the surface, because then when the surface disappears, because we all change. I mean, particularly women. I mean, everybody has the potential to change, but particularly women change, their bodies change. They go through different phases, cycles. I mean, women's bodies are designed to change. And if you're with someone who only loves the version of you, the physical version of you, what you are at this very time, and they don't like anything else, you deserve better than that. And I also think that on the flip side, women need to value themselves more for what's underneath. And look, I love hair and makeup. I love beauty. You know, I love looking cute. Don't get me wrong. I also know that that's not all I have to offer, and that's not the only value that I bring to not only my relationship but the world. And I don't rely on that alone. And I want, because every woman out there has more to offer the world than just their physical surface appearance. Even if they only think that, even if that's the only thing that they've ever put value in, so they've never even explored any other part of them, it's there, trust me. So I guess that's just something that I want to emphasize, because I'm not gonna lie, when I started going on my journey, and I had put on some weight, I have put on some weight, and which I know for me, and I'm not going to get into that whole thing in this video, that's not what this video is about, but you know, I was in a different place in my life than Stephanie. I'm a little bit older than she is. She's in a long-term relationship. I'm recently divorced and single, and that was a huge fear of mine, of, you know, okay, if I do start trying to heal my relationship with food, if I do, you know, go through this process of resetting my metabolism and I do put on weight, am I ever gonna find love? You know, is anyone gonna love me? And I realized that even at my thinnest weight, when I did get more attention from men, I never really felt like I was getting more love from them. It was just hollow attention. And like, even when I was at probably my fittest weight, you know, posing in lingerie on Instagram, you know, gaining, you know, 180,000 followers in a matter of months, and having, you know, guys DM me and, you know, all these offers for green card marriages and whatever, blah, blah, blah. Like, it didn't make me feel, like, I still didn't feel loved, and So I really had to separate the idea that love and my weight are not connected. And I guess I just really wanted to get that point across, and I just thought that Stephanie's post and her and Jeff and their story of their relationship I find very hopeful, because I feel like as a society we need more examples of people who truly care about each other for more than just the surface. And we're talking about two people who are in the fitness industry, who are in an industry of a very surface level appearance, and they're both very attractive people. You know, so it's, I mean, they always were at any size. But I don't know, I just think we need to normalize it more. We need to normalize, you know, people loving themselves for more than just the surface, but we also need to normalize relationships where people see more than just the surface. And, you know, I know there was a campaign a while ago that was talking about like mixed weight couples and like guys who were thin and fit and women who were overweight, and it's like, why is that a thing? I mean, we don't really think anything of really thin, attractive, fit women with guys who are like overweight and out of shape. We just assume he's got money or something successful. And you know, that's not really necessarily a healthy situation either. But I feel like there are other options that we give men for attracting a mate or attracting people into their life, whereas with women it's solely based on appearance. And I've even noticed too in a lot of like dating advice, you know, shows or groups or, you know, brands, dating advice, whatever, things, sites, people, whatever, or people give dating advice, there's kind of this overwhelming pressure on women to look a certain way. And there was a video going around, I'm not really remember because the video just made me sick to my stomach, so I didn't finish watching it. But there was a guy who, I think the video went viral, of a guy who was giving a woman advice. She was basically saying she wanted a high quality man. And he basically was like, well, you're average looking, so you can't get that. And I knew there was more to it than just that, but people should want what they want. We don't tell men that they shouldn't want a certain thing from a woman in a relationship. So why should a woman be told that she can't find a quality man because she hasn't had a dozen surgeries to look like a certain celebrity or something, you know what I mean? And you know, that women have to maintain a certain appearance and that have to maintain a certain look. And again, like I said, Stephanie was gorgeous at any weight and any size. But, you know, her body did change. She went through changes, and she, for a while, didn't look like the typical, you know, fitness model. And, you know, I don't think anyone can argue that Jeff Nippert isn't a quality guy. You know, he's successful. He's incredibly smart, incredibly dedicated to his career, attractive, makes a good living. I mean, you know, all this stuff. And he still stood by her and loved her. And, you know, that's normal. We should normalize that. Having a situation where we tell women, like, no, if you don't look like this one preconceived idea of what a woman should look like, you basically just have to settle. I mean, that's what I feel like we keep saying to women, like, okay, if you're not surgically altered or you don't look like a supermodel, you're not like some 18-year-old supermodel, you basically just have to settle for like whatever guy you can get. And I don't think that that's true, and I don't think that that's a good message to send, because again, it puts all of the emphasis on youth and appearance, and youth and appearance are so fleeting, and they don't make for a solid relationship. They don't lead to love. You know, you don't love someone's youth and appearance. You can be attracted to someone's youth and appearance, but you don't love someone for their youth and appearance. You love someone for who they are, and it's much deeper. It's in your soul. And I just, yeah, I felt like I really wanted to say this, and I wanted to give Stephanie and Jeff the credit they deserve, because I think that they're really great role models on a lot of different avenues. And I mean, I could go on about, you know, Stephanie being a role model for women, for being open and vulnerable and taking control of their health and being incredibly intelligent. I mean, there's a million different things that I could say about her that I think make her a great role model, but I really wanted to emphasize in this video because I think it's an important message that doesn't get out there enough, that, you know, women cannot base their entire desirability on their physical appearance, and we should be normalizing men valuing women for more than just their physical appearance. And also I think, again, I mean, to bring up, you know, another situation, but, you know, I mean, there's the J-Lo A-Rod thing, and it's like, are they together? Are they not together? I don't know what the status is right now, or as the time that this video is going up, but it's pretty clear that he's cheated. It's pretty clear he's cheated on everybody. I mean, he's obviously a serial cheater. That's just what, you know, hey, some people are, some people aren't. That is what it is. And, you know, I get a lot of people that are like, oh my God, how could you know, how could someone cheat on J-Lo? It's like, look, Halle Berry's husband cheated on her. Sandra Bullock's husband cheated on her. You know, Elizabeth Hurley was getting cheated on. It's all these, Christy Brinkley, like all these drop-dead gorgeous women get cheated on. I think it's evident that, you know what, like if a guy's gonna be a jerk and treat you like a jerk, he's gonna do it regardless of your weight, your size, your appearance. I mean, what, it's like, I see so many women that beat themselves up like, well, he wouldn't have run off with that other woman if I had looked different, or if I had done this. And I'm like, do you really think that oh, well, A-Rod would have stuck around, and he wouldn't have cheated, or he wouldn't have looked at another woman if J-Lo had just had like one more extra ab muscle? And no, you know, it's like, if that's just what a man's gonna do, it's what a man's gonna do. And if that's not what makes you happy, don't settle for it. Don't settle for, you know, for just someone who isn't what you want, who isn't treating you the way you want, who isn't challenging you, isn't compatible with you, just to have someone, and just because you don't think you deserve better, because you do. You absolutely do. And I don't care what you look like right now. I don't care if you are in the process of you know, of changing your appearance, or and look, hey, if you want to change your appearance, do it for you. I'm all for people creating their own look and looking the way that they want to look, but make sure that you're doing it for you and not for someone else. You know, if you want to change something about the way you look, do it for you, do it for your health if you need to. You know, do it from a place of loving yourself. And I think we need to normalize women really loving themselves on the inside, and I think we need to normalize men loving women for more than just what's on the surface. I know there's a lot of women out there who think like, well, and I've been guilty of this too, of like, well, if I don't look, you know, a certain way, that a quality man will not love me. Well, you know what? Like, if a man doesn't love you for who you are, for your soul, for your heart, he's not a quality man. He's just not. You know, I don't care how much money he has. I don't care what he does for work. I don't care what his status is. And don't get me wrong, I love a man with money and status, but he's still not a quality man if he's not treating you with the love that you deserve. And does that mean he wouldn't be a quality man for someone else? Maybe he would. I don't know, but you don't need him. So yeah, this was just something, it came to me. I'd saved the post from Stephanie, and I just, it was just weighing on my heart, and I really wanted to talk about it. Because I feel like it's just such an important message, and more people need to talk about it. We need to normalize women loving themselves for their whole self, not just what's on the surface, and for people loving them for who they really are too. So yeah, so that was my rant, talk, ramble about this. I hope you guys enjoy these chatty videos and me just sort of talking. I think sometimes I like to just sit down with the camera and just talk to you and chit chat, and this is sort of my way of, again, like I said, having a podcast without actually having a podcast. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and if you guys want to follow me on Instagram, the link will be in the description box below. If you guys have any other video requests, particularly like any like chatty video topics, I have a few in mind that I want to talk about. Some more controversial, some not as controversial. But yeah, if you guys have any suggestions or anything, let me know. Leave a comment in the comment section below. I love to hear from you. I love your suggestions. If you want to be an everyday starlet, be sure you hit that subscribe button. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you join me next time.